Hello, everybody. Welcome. Let me get full screen here. It's just gonna be me tonight, no Hunter. Unless he texts me and he can, but I don't think he can make it tonight. Hope everyone having a great week. It is Thursday. It's almost the weekend, which is amazing. Let me update. I didn't have time. F1 this week. Sometimes it doesn't like me. Change it. There we go. So this weekend in F1 we have Hungarian Grand Prix, which we see below us. Above us we see scores, the MLB and the WNBA, as well as, I don't know, golf it looks like, PGA and LGPDA. So that's cool to see. Let me move it over a little bit, so you can maybe see a little bit more for women's golf. All right, let's get to it, guys. We have a lot of topics this week. First, we're going to start talking about Shannon Sharp. ESPN cut ties with him yesterday. I guess last week he settled his lawsuit with a young lady that was suing him. So you don't settle if you don't do nothing wrong. So I think that's when ESPN said, "All right, we're going to cut him," which is really sad. He was doing very well with Stephen A, in my opinion, and his insight for ESPN was really good. Since he's not good with Fox anymore, maybe he'll go back to Fox, but he got cut there for money too. He just might keep doing his show. I don't watch it anymore as much. They were talking about Johnny Manziel and some other cool topics here soon, so they got some good, cool stuff. And he has his podcast, which I haven't watched in a while, but I'll need to again when I have time. And then also F1, sorry, not F1, IndyCar was bought up. 1/3 of IndyCar was bought by Fox today. So that's amazing to see. Fox does a lot of the broadcast, I think all of them for IndyCar. So they bought 1/3 of Penske Entertainment, and that is Penske's team, and his entertainment section of his companies. Because Roger Penske owns IndyCar and the Indy 500. So they bought into 1/3 of that for about $125 to $135 million. It's kind of crazy how IndyCar as a whole is worth $375 million. So that's what they estimate, when that's not even an NFL team. So that's kind of crazy, and shows how much more money the NFL makes. They do need to do more races. People in Fox have been talking about that. The PR guy who was talking about the merger. And I agree with that. They could make it year round and just race in hot places that don't snow. F1's pretty much year round. I think they only have like a 2-month break because they get done at the end of September and then they start again up in February. So that's kind of, oh, sorry, is it April? It might be April. But maybe it's February and the first race is April. I'll have to look. Our funny, not so funny topic was the CNN faceplant Savannah Bananas flip back with style and stitches. Doing a live appearance on CNN's News Central on July 24th, Savannah Bananas performer Robert Anthony Cruz, aka Coach Rack, attempted his signature backflip stunt. Instead, he face planted on the studio floor, lost his mic pack and a shoe, ended up needing stitches for a busted lip, and much to mock and amusement for on-air acres. That's kind of crazy, though. One of them said, "Oh Jesus," so it kind of sucks. He hurt himself. But look it up. It is funny, but I hope he's okay, and that kind of sucks that it happened to him. Now we'll be going into F1 standings. After the Belgian Grand Prix, first is Oscar Piastri, who won the Belgian Grand Prix at 266 points. They have Lando Norris, who came in second at the Belgian Grand Prix, and his total points are 250. He is 16 behind his co-driver. Max Verstappen is at 185. He got 20 points because he won the sprint race, but he didn't do well in the regular race. Then we have George Russell in fourth at 157. He had 10 points last week. Charles Leclerc at 139. He had 20 points last week. Lewis Hamilton at 6 at 109, got 6 points. Kimi Antonelli at 63. He's gotten 0 points for the last 2 races. Alexander Albon at 8th at 54. Nico Hulkenberg with 37. Esteban Ocon with 27. It's still kind of a bad year for most other people. I'll keep going. Isaac Hadjar 11th. Pierre Gasly 12th. Lance Stroll 13th. Liam Lawson 14th. Alonso 15th. Sainz 16th. Tsunoda 17th, having a bad start to Red Bull. Behrman 18th. Gabriel Bortoleto 19th. Colapinto 20th. And it's just crazy that Sainz and Fernando Alonso are having this bad week. Sainz got 3 points last week, and Alonso got none. So he's tied with Fernando Alonso right now. Same points. But it's just crazy bad how much they're doing, both of those Spanish drivers. For the constructors, McLaren scored 56 points last week, so they're at 516. Ferrari's in second at 248, still less than half. They got 26 points last week. Mercedes got 10 points last week, they're in third at 220. Red Bull got 20 points last week, they're at 192. Williams got 11 points last week, they're at fifth with 70. And Sauber, Racing Bulls, Aston Martin having a horrible year. Haas and Alpine. Alpine also having a horrible year in last. There a little bit of will be going on in the Browns training camp. There's been a little bit of drama and QB chaos. I'm excited to go over it. At a cross-country mortgage campus is where they do it. Starting cornerback Martin Emerson Jr. suffered a left Achilles injury during a non-contract duel, forcing him off a field cart and sparking serious concerns heading to the season, which is just so sad. And we have Ward. We have some other good guys in the nickel, I thought, but he's been really good. He had 80 tackles and key turnovers last year, and it could reshape our secondary. Getting tackles as a cornerback is good. Jordan Hicks, in a surprise move, announced his retirement at age 33, early camp days for personal reasons. He leaves behind 10 years and nearly 1,000 tackles across multiple teams. Hicks' departure further thins an already reshaped linebacker room that includes newcomers like Jerome Baker and Devin Bush. For quarterback competition's heating up. The Browns are experimenting with a four-way quarterback battle. Vets Kenny Pickett, not really, and Joe Flacco, and rookies Dylan Gabriel and Cedric Sanders. With Pickett sidelined by a hamstring injury, Flacco has taken over first-team reps and looks like an early front-runner. Gabriel impressed with poise and accuracy at early camp demos, putting himself also in that conversation. For Cedric Sanders, drama and development. Sanders faced scrutiny after 2 speeding tickets. GM Andrew Barry publicly labeled behavior as not smart. Still on the field, he was responding with strong plays. 3 touchdowns on 8 of 11 passes during a red zone drill, which is really good. And he's always been a good completion guy. Demonstrating maturity, Sanders asked his father Dion to stay away from camp, wanting to avoid distractions as he battles to make the roster, which I agree with. He is more mature. Training camp themes and standouts, heavy QB rotation. Flacco leads for now with Gabriel pushing hard and Sander also pushing hard and adding intrigue. Key injuries and retirements, I kind of already talked about. The emerging role players are rookies like Luke Floria catching TDs, Dante Johnson stepping in amid injuries, and Carson Schwarzenegger, who's at a linebacker we got, turning heads in defense drills, which is good. Happy we got him. Will Joe Flacco lock up a starting QB position, or can Gabriel Sanders climb a depth chart? I don't like rookies starting that early, so it should be Flacco until he gets hurt because he's old, and then you let one of these guys come in. Probably even Pickett, let him develop. How will the defense adjust without Emerson and Hicks looking for young contributors to step up and these new rookie picks? And I know we still have that injury with JOK. I don't know if we have him anymore. Who do you guys think the breakout player on campus so far? Please let us know in chat. Now we'll be going over a NASCAR and IndyCar recap. We're starting with NASCAR. Last week was their Indy 500 race, or Indy 400 for them. Brickyard 400, what they call it. Wallace ended up winning, and Iowa intensity ahead. Bubba Wallace claimed an historical victory for Brickyard 400, being the only black person to win at Indy. And now the Cup Series heads to a short track battle at Iowa Speedway's Corn 350. Like I said, Bubba Wallace, to win a major Cup race at Indy Motor Speedway Oval, which is amazing. triumphing in overtimes and holding off Kyle Larson in clutch restarts. Kyle Larson, who raced at the Indy 500 the last couple of years, so he knows that track more. And a lot of people call him the best driver in the world. He says that. He's not. Obviously. He got whooped by Bubba, and it was just amazing to see. Wallace's win snapped a 100-race drought and locked him into the playoffs. It was a triumphant and emotional moment for him and 23XI Racing, especially under pressure and legal scrutiny over the team's status. Ty Gibbs took home NASCAR's $1 million in-season tournament, defeating Ty Dillon and donating 10% of his winnings to charity, which isn't even 10%, it's 1%, so that's kind of low. An inspiring character moment, competition chaos, not really. 1%, that's nothing. That's a tax write-off. Champion standings, shake up. Chase Elliott still holds a slim lead of the standings at 726. Followed closely by William Byron, 4 points away at 722. Kyle Larson, 711. And Danny Hamlin, 706, who leads the lead with 4 wins this season. Not going to be who I personally like, number 12, Ryan Blaney type of year. Christopher Bell in 5th with 664 points, also has 3 wins. With just 5 races left until the playoffs, every point and win counts. Wallace's playoff clutch adds another strong contender to the postseason mix, if he can keep going. The next race is, like I said, the Iowa Corn 350 this Sunday at 3:30 p.m. It's a tight 7/8 mile asphalt oval known to be tough, traffic-heavy, short racing, where precision and patience matters most. That is a very small track. So the Indy 500 is 2.5 miles, if I'm not mistaken, or it might be 2 miles. And this is less than a mile, 7/8 of a mile. Denny Hamlin's a pick to watch. He had recent success on similar tracks and often favored in these short track scenarios. What to watch? Wallace riding high. Hamlin and Elliott looking to keep their playoff edge. Young Guns factor. Drivers like Chase Briscoe, winner at Pocono. Good steal for so if they stay clean. There's a wild card with Iowa's often race taken up in lineup. Look for Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, or even lesser followed names to contend. With a short track strategy, there's always restarts, lap traffic, tire wear, all amplified on a confined circuit with little room to make mistakes, lots of crashes. With Bubba Wallace booked for the playoffs and Gibbs stunning the in-season bracket, the focus shifts to drivers like Elliott, Byron, Larson to solidify the top 16 spots before late-stage pressure. Playoff points are now gold, mamma mia. A win to Iowa could push a driver into the playoff bubble. Give me your inputs, guys, if you like NASCAR like I do. Next is IndyCar. Right now we have the standings at 590 points. We got Alex Palou at 121 away at 469. We got Pato O'Ward. Then we have Scott Dixon at 392. Kyle Kirkwood at 4th. Christian Logron 5th. Felix Rosencrest 6th. Colton Herta 7th. Marcus Armstrong 8th. Will Power 9th. David Malukas 10th. Venus VK 11th, Scott McLaughlin 12th, Ferrucci 13th, Rasmussen 14th, Joseph Newgarden 15th, having a bad year, Simpson 16th, Connor Daly 17th, Rossi 18th, Graham Rahal 19th, Marcus Ericsson 20th. So behind Connor Daly, there's guys that are getting paid way more than him, so he's having a great year. We got Andretti, Nolan Siegel, Vera McLaren, even though he's young, 21, Lewis Foster 22nd, Schwartzman 23, Ilott 24th, Stingray Robb 25th, Delvin DiVincenzo 26th, Jacob Eagle 27th, Sato 28th. He hasn't raced that much, so just like Ed Carpenter and Halo Castanovas. So the next topic is Palou pulls away in Portland pressure of our IndyCar update. Monterey at Laguna Seca, the winner was Alex Palou, led 84 out of 95 laps of a WeatherTech Racer, clinching his 8th victory this season, just dominating, which is his 3rd win at Laguna Seca in 4 years. Runner-up were Christian Lundgaard and Curtin Herta. Completed a podium, Pato O'Ward, who desperately needed to call back points, recovered a P4 from early struggles. Palou's performance pushed his lead over O'Ward, like I said, to 121 points, making him a heavy favorite for championship, with only 3 races left. This would be his 4th, like Max. Max will only get 3. 3, I think. Championship standings and outlook. With a commanding lead, Palou is on the brink of clinching his fourth, like I said, Indy Cup championship in 5 years, potentially as early as the next race in Portland, if Award finishes outside the top 13 when paired with Palou scoring safely. Pato O'Ward remains the only driver of sought. He must win all remaining races and hope for Palou slip-ups. Other drivers like Kyle Kirkwood and Scott Dixon are still lurking, but are more than 170 points is behind. You'll need a miracle. The next race preview is for Portland International Raceway at August 10th at 3 p.m. This bit now, so we're actually off this weekend. Grand Prix of Portland marks IndyCar's next stop. Palou could steal the title here. The track profile is a technical street-style layout with narrow lanes and significant emphasis on qualifying, making track position vital in the race. Predictions: Palou aims to finish inside the top 5 and clutch the championship, regardless of Award's result. Award must win and rack up maximum points to keep his hopes alive. That's podium and win the race. Keep an eye on Scott Dixon and Lundgaard, who might leap on opportunities if the front runners falter. The reason why Portland could be the title decider is championship math. Palou needs just average finishes if Palou doesn't strike for maximum games. If Award doesn't strike maximum games. Press or square, Award's only way back is perfection under high stakes. With momentum and mental games, Palou's consistent, composed runs contrast with Award's urgency to recover lost ground, and I don't think he'll be able to actually compare that bad. But hopefully extend the climb to Nashville after. Now we'll be talking about the Belgian Grand Prix, which was last weekend, which was great to see. The Spa Showdown, McLaren's triumph, and Red Bull's reset. McLaren commanding 1-2 finish. Verstappen struggle on a new team regime, and what's that coming next in Hungary. For Belgian Grand Prix, which we talked about last week, featured a sprint race, a part of F1 6-event sprint format. Spa lived up to his reputation. Rain interruptions delayed the start by an hour, followed by a switch to slicks just a few laps in, making strategy critical from the get-go. Sprint highlights: Verstappen's comeback. Verstappen swept the street race, overtaking Oscar Piastri in the first lap, into the leading and holding off, challenging across 15 laps. But that low downforce setup that brought success in the sprint race did not pay off in the main race, if it being raining. For Grand Prix, it was McLaren's masterclass. Oscar Piastri converting pole into a race victory, his 6th win of the year, emphasizing consistent composure in mixed conditions. Lando followed in second, sealing a McLaren's 1-2 finish. He was gaining momentum, but his brakes locked up with about 3 laps left, or maybe 5, and he wasn't catching back. Charles Leclerc puts Ferrari back on the podium after a suspension upgrade, finishing 3rd, but noticed more gains are needed to match McLaren's pace, and hopefully next year with the reset with the engines and technical guidelines will make the whole sport more competitive. Max Verstappen started 4th, ended up off the podium in P4, and it's the same. He didn't go up, and in a minute, Red Bull's wet dry transition left the car uncompetitive, highlighting areas where the team are just not strong enough. The race marked Lionel Messi's first race as Red Bull's team principal, following Horner's abrupt departure because they're trash and Horner's trash. Messi's faced intense scrutiny but projected calmness under pressure. Verstappen's P4 finish also activated a contractual clause, securing his Red Bull future until 2028, shutting down Mercedes rumors for now. And he said today he's staying with Red Bull. Key taking points were McLaren's dominance, Piastri's mental grit, and Norris's speed hint at the championship potential. The Weber gamble at Spa, which we always see a messy start, fast tire shifts, good team strategy turned into good results. Red Bull's internal reset, Messi's leadership and podium pressure spotlights organizational shifts under the new era. Give me any of your input, guys. That'd be awesome to hear about this. And before we talk about the next race. Once again, if you're watching, even if you're watching a video on demand, make sure to drop a like. I'd really appreciate it, guys. It always helps. We have our Facebook down below. Share. If you're not subscribed yet, subscribe. The next F1 race below me is for Lenovo Hungarian Grand Prix. For free practice is Friday, August 1st. This is not a sprint format. For races Sunday, August 3rd at 9 a.m. and qualifying Saturday at 10 a.m. This is a 14-turn clockwise established in 1986. For whole circuit length, 4.38 kilometers. Total distance, 306. Number of laps, 70. There's 2 DRS zones, and they're kind of back-to-back right after turn 1. It's for main straight, that's huge. Turn 1, another DRS zone into turn 2. Then no other DRS zones for the rest of the race. This is for Hungarian. How do you say it? It's August 1st through, like I said, 1st through 3rd. Like I said, there's no sprint. It's just practice. Expect hot and dry conditions, typical of Hungary, but thunderstorms may shake up the field, especially overnight rain, affecting track grip. With championship spotlights and odds, Oscar Piastri leading the standings, Bowley with 6 wins. Bookmakers list him and teammate Lando Norris as co-favorites at plus 165 each. Charles Leclerc's at plus 800, Max Verstappen's plus 450. Can McLaren lock it in? Piastri straps ball and a repeat in Hungary would all but seal the title. Especially with Norris too. Norris was posted a runner-up last year. Tensions remain tight and teammates' battles are looming. With Ferrari's upgrades, how are they working? Suspension package, and hopefully Lewis Hamilton can drive better. What about Red Bull's restart? After the Spa sprint win, but P4 in the race, Verstappen's new team leadership looks for redemption. Circuit challenge, nicknamed Monaco without walls. Hungarian is twisty, dusty, and makes overtakes hard in dry conditions, making qualifications performance critical. Seb's balance is vital, with high downforce and soft suspension bring grip, but cause higher tire drag under Budapest's heat. For predictions, SB Nation Fantasy previews and oddmakers favor Piastri. Pick to win, Norris value pick, and Leclerc a best value long shot, and Hamilton a sentimental outsider. Fans' predictions are trending Piastri, Norris, and then Verstappen and Leclerc, Russell or Hamilton if wet in 4th. Rumors and driver moves. Expect high drama heading into the summer break, with driver market speculating heating up for season 2026. With Russell, Antonelli, Colapinto, Lawson, Hydra are all in contract probes. Verstappen's early pre-finish, like I said, helped us unlock his contract clause. We'll now be going into the Guardians. They're off today. They played the Rockies for the last couple days. Let me see how they did yesterday, because they won. They lost the first game to the Rockies, and the Rockies are bad, so that's bad. 6-8 on Monday. Then we won on Tuesday, 10-4. And yesterday. Also, the NFL started Hall of Fame games today. 14-6, Chargers are up on the Lions. With 5 minutes in the second. And the Guardians beat the Rockies 5-0 yesterday, so good to see. From last week, we lost to the Orioles 3-4. Kansas City was postponed, and we had a doubleheader on Saturday. We lost the first game 3-5, won the second game 6-4, then lost to Kansas City on Sunday 1-4. So we didn't get swept in the series, but we got one win away from Kansas City, so that's pretty good in my opinion. Any other topics, questions you guys have, feel free to reach out. I love doing this show, and I love you guys all who watch. It's amazing. So once again, make sure don't forget about the video on demand. They're always here. We'll be having a Healthy Living show Sunday at some time, probably like 2 or 3. I'll let you guys know unless something comes up. Trevor might be busy this week. The Week Ahead News show is always on Monday at 8:30, just like this show. I like doing a little bit late right before I can go to bed. Once again, good night, everybody. I hope you all have a great Friday.